This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Perotti along with Nick Perotti. Our program being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Again, where they are celebrating the Sierra Chicken Sandwich. Back again for a limited time at all Taco John's of Cheyenne, including the Taco John's food truck out on the South Greeley Highway, while the South Greeley Highway address location is being rebuilt. Taco John's of Cheyenne, Sierra Chicken. So good. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, where you can test drive one of the many of the Kia family on the lot right now, looking for new homes. And again, some special pricing going on at this time of year from AJ and Greg. And check out what they have for you. Matter of fact, talk with one of the great sales staff over at Kia of Cheyenne. Take a test drive. Take home the Kia of your dreams today on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank. Banking made the old-fashioned way. Banking done the new high-technology way. Everything in between. I mean, all of the service a bank can offer comes to you via Platte Valley Bank. 2 locations on Vanda High and at the corner of College and Pershing. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange. Yeah, for a limited time, you're going to enjoy their smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich. It is really, really good. Wash it down with their strawberry passion tea lemonade. They're there for 3 squares, Monday through Saturday. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 2 convenient drive-thrus directly across from Powers Field and Menards. And we're talking about Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange. Medicap Pharmacy. For all your pharmaceutical needs, again, with your doctor's prescription, G and his great staff will fill those prescriptions. They're in the same location as always, next door to Texas Red House. Shop inside, do your business through the convenient drive-thru. They're open Monday through Saturday, Medicap Pharmacy. Lennox Auto Body, over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center, over on Pershing Boulevard, part of Lennox Enterprises. Founded by Dick Lennox a quarter century ago, tradition carried on by his daughter Heather, and it has not missed a beat from the family going back and forth here with Pops handing it down to his daughter. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. First Year Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Again, they offer some great CD rates right now, 27-month CD. How about a 3.1% annual percentage yield? 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Across the street, open 7 days a week with the best in Paisan cuisine. Family-owned, family-operated. Family recipes. And this is not corporate America. This is the way it should be done. It's like gathering with the family on the weekends when you go to Mondello's Pizzeria. All ingredients are fresh. The dough is always made fresh. For sandwiches, their rolls are always baked fresh. Check out Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. And we get things underway. Scoreboard time, brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. I'm venturing to say that Nick's going to have a very short scoreboard.
Well, it's a very light one, at least on the local side of things, but we will spotlight the Cheyenne Hawks competing in the single-A state tournament, at least happening up in Douglas. Game coming up at 4 o'clock today. There in Douglas, they will take on the Riverton Raiders to keep that at least winning streak alive, or at least undefeated state tournament run that the Cheyenne Hawks are on. So, again, good luck to them as they compete against the Riverton Raiders at 4 o'clock tonight. And also, too, do want to remind folks coming up tomorrow, Cheyenne Extreme Softball tryouts happening here in town at Converse Softball Complex. Registration starts at 5:30 p.m. Tryouts 6 to 8. There is no tryout fee. Again, Cheyenne Extreme tryouts at least coming up tomorrow here in town.
Major League Baseball on the last day of trading. The trading deadline officially expiring here in as it expired.
It already expired.
Eastern time. Right.
Yeah, an hour and 9 minutes ago.
All right. So with that being said, I got my right date. I know it's the final day of July. Let's go to the ballparks and see what's happening for today. Hey, the Diamondbacks are less one pitcher. We'll talk about that later on. They're losing to the Yankees right now. Top of the ninth inning in the Bronx at 7-4. Bottom of the seventh at Coors Field. believe it or not, a pitcher's duel between the Dodgers and the Rocks. No score right now. They are moving to the bottom of the fourth inning with the Motor City Kitties of Detroit leading the Halos in SoCal 2-0. Final, in 10 innings, the Braves have defeated the Nationals again at Nats Park 5-4. Reds at Great American Ballpark. They beat the Pirates today 4-1. Blue Jays over the Royals 4-1 at Kauffman Stadium. Getting underway when we get out of here will be the Giants and the Phils at Citizens Bank Ballpark. Astros, Indians, they will be matching up at Progressive Field. Rays and the Bo Sox at Fenway. Twins, Marlins at Marlins Park. Cubs, Cardinals at Busch. That'll be in the 6 o'clock hour. Followed up by the Mariners and the Rangers from Globe Life Park in Arlington. Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago will have the Pale Hose, and they're hosting the Mets. Brewers and the Athletics from the Coliseum later tonight around 8:07. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Under the definition of fun in the dictionary, they need to include 2 more words. Wyoming Downs. It's the perfect way to have fun with new and even more exciting simulcasting games on display, including Classic Heat, Great American Racing, Samurai Legacy, plus the Great Jackpot. That's just a sampling of fun that's happening today at Wyoming Downs. Make sure to get your player's card to enjoy triple points on Sundays, double points on Mondays. There's Mystery Moolah every Friday and Saturday, plus other special promotions going on at Wyoming Downs, with 2 fun locations in the Cheyenne Plaza at 3617 East Lincoln Way and at the Outlaw Saloon at 312 South Greeley Highway. Remember, for more information, go to wydowns.com.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Some common things that can affect your personal or at-work computer. The worst of all is a virus. Secondly, it runs too slow because the hard drive is filled or something else internally is wrong, and it's in serious need of an upgrade. Before you get rid of it, let Lanny at Affordable Computer Repair attack and fix those problems right away. Affordable Computer Repair is just that. So call 307-256-8971 and let Lanny's many years of computer service get your computer back up and running the way it should be, so you don't miss a day of work or the personal use that you expect from it. He's worked on them all, so you'll feel confident he'll get the job done right. So don't junk it. Help is on the way from Affordable Computer Repair. Call 307-256-8971.
We'll work hard for your business, and we'll work just as hard to keep it. I'm A.J. Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and you need to see the new 2019 Kia Sportage today. The 2019 Kia Sportage offers numerous options and advanced driving features that help you know who is around you and how best to stay in control. Kia Sportage offers many standard features for the money. Some of the competition does not. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly cloudy with a possible thunderstorm this afternoon with highs around 88. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 58. On Thursday, it'll be cloudy with thunderstorms likely with highs around 78. And on Thursday night, it'll be cloudy once again with thunderstorms likely in the evening with lows around 55.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Hey, we're halfway home to the weekend. End of the month, August, begins tomorrow. And guess what? The National Football League with Canton, Ohio hosting the Broncos and the Falcons. But who cares?
Yeah, again, it does not matter.
Who really cares? Kevin Hogan does.
We got more intriguing football in Laramie than down
All
in
right,
Denver.
well, let's bring back our special guest, Cody Tucker, founder, 7220sports.com. And, Cody, I've really enjoyed the blast from the past. A lot of them I can relate to because I've been here long enough. Has it been a hoot for you, or has it been a struggle trying to find some of these guys to sit down and give you the time of day?
No, it's been a blast. Everybody's been great. Obviously in Wyoming there's not a huge media presence, so these guys didn't even get a lot of media when they were in Laramie, most of them. So they're really excited to be remembered, and it's been great for me because even some of those Sugar Bowl teams and Sun Bowl teams, obviously I wasn't around for that, but to watch the old videos and read the old newspaper articles, it's been really cool and it just helps you learn everything you can about the entire program and its history.
Well, it's also too beneficial for likes of me, where again I'm from, born in 1990, not knowing at least those past, or at least not knowing some of the Wyoming greats that were of those early 90s or 80s or 70s going on back, at least part of cowboy football, and it is something very interesting to read about and get that learning, that history, so to speak, of, oh, okay, this is what cowboy football was like back in the day, and this is kind of the parallels of where we are moving in the direction over in Laramie now in the Craig Bull era, so to speak.
Yeah, and one of the coolest things for me is when these old players write me and they go, man, that was my teammate. That brought back such great memories because I'm sure you remember more so, before the Black 14 happened, Wyoming was better than the Boise State we've seen in the last 10 years.
Right.
They could have been, who knows what could have been. And the hardest part for a lot of these guys, and me included, even though I wasn't alive yet, is the fact that BYU went on to be so successful while we tanked.
Well, it's interesting, too, and again, I know there's going to be a lot more coming up. Matter of fact, I could think of a great storyline for you would be the first game under the lights.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we beat BYU. You just threw that out, and I was like, boom, light bulb went off. Maybe I should be working with you. But, I was reading something today, and I don't know if this was from you or I found this elsewhere, but they were talking about the number 40, Cooper Roth.
Yep.
And how many former Cowboys have worn number 40.
Yep.
And talk about a blast from the past was Brian Greigert.
Yep.
Where I last remembered him running for his life in the end zone where the Cowboys went to overtime against BYU at Sam Boyd.
That's right.
Joe Tiller's last game, bang, zoom, he's on his way off to Purdue. We lose game, we're 11-2. We don't even get a bowl bid that year. So, I'm enjoying all of the blast from the past. Not that it just sparks great memories, but it was like, yeah, I remember that, and for me, being, 61 years old, I've only been here 33 years.
Right.
I got to know a little bit of the past 80s, 70s, and then I got really caught up on the Black 14 situation.
Sure.
That, for me, I would think for you, is going to be very, I know times have kind of relaxed a little bit, but that's going to be kind of a sticky wicket to get all of the participants involved in that.
Yeah, a little bit. Something the university is going to do. I don't think they've put it out really yet, but against Idaho in the second home game, they're going to bring the Black 14 out for, to give them a round and get them back on the field again. So that'll be nice. And for guys, maybe a closure.
And for guys like Nick, and I'm not taking anything away from you, but those that are transplants here and are not familiar with it, tell us a little bit of the history of it.
Yeah, so Lloyd Eaton, the coach back then, he followed Bob Devaney, and that was a great, great time in Wyoming football. They lost LSU in the Sugar Bowl by 7, ended on the 5-yard line, unfortunately, in a muddy, rainy New Orleans, which obviously LSU had some home field on that one. Yeah. But the next year, some African-American players wanted to wear black armbands to protest the racial discrimination of the Mormon Church, which owns BYU. So they came to Lloyd Eaton and asked if they could wear the black armbands. He said, no way. They asked again, and he was a disciplinarian to say the least. So it was not only a no, it was you're gone. So all those black players were off the team that week, and Wyoming rolled over BYU that week and then rolled over San Jose State and then didn't win a game again. And the next year, I believe they won one game. So when you do that, you know, it's hard enough to recruit black players to Laramie, Wyoming, but when you kick them off during a time, too, you think about that time. I mean, Vietnam.
60s,
and, yeah, so he just was anti-protesting and especially anti-anything on your uniform. You're Wyoming, you're playing for the Cowboys, shut the hell up and go to work.
Would hate 2019 to where we are with players just having all sorts of, you know, flashy on their uniforms, just with the shoes and everything.
Well, I think of Lloyd Eaton and Colin Kaepernick. He would have flipped out.
Well, you know, go back and again, not to interrupt you, Nick, but again, you think of the old line coaches back in the day. Bob Devaney. You go back even to Paul Bear Bryant in Oklahoma, Barry Switzer. You look at these types of coaches, and you say to yourself, "My gosh, they would not exist in the coaching ranks today."
No
just
chance.
with the politically correct world.
No chance.
Okay, so
as I say, you have one guy who's down in Alabama, and one Nick Saban, who's kind of on that vein, though. He is kind of that old school mentality, but he's a little bit more lenient than what was in the past.
Yeah, but you know what? I think along with him and even Dabo Swinney, they are, you know, two different personalities, but they're right down the middle. They're square shooters. I like both of their personalities.
And I don't know if anybody at Alabama would want to kneel or go through that stuff because they're so focused on the team, and because of Saban, he has you focus so much on winning and preparation that any kind of stuff like that is probably not going to fly. But I would bet Nick would go do whatever you got to do. But I don't see a lot of players joining in.
All right, a lot of the reason that you're in here too is you had a very unique opportunity here most recently, and again, if you haven't been to that as far as media is concerned, you definitely want to do it once.
Yeah.
And that would be going to Las Vegas for the football, you know, I guess preseason meetings. And
hell, for any reason, it's just heading out to Sin City.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, really you get there and you talk Mountain West, you get a chance to hear from all the coaches. Yep. You also get the opportunity to see where everybody thinks the Mountain West is, you know, who's going to be your top dog and in both divisions, the West and the Mountain. So I guess your experience going to the summertime preseason meeting.
Well, like you say, you know, it's great to get all those players and coaches under one roof. You never have that chance again. So it was neat. It was, you know, I found myself in a really unique situation that the Cody of 3 years ago would have been like, what in the world are you doing? I'm at a lunch table with Mike Bobo and the CSU players and all CSU's guys, and I'm thinking, wow, 3 years ago this would have never flown. But no, it was great. It was great to talk to those guys, and they were. Right now, everybody's mellow. Nobody's played a game yet, so nobody's tense. It's kind of fun. You can ask whatever question you want without pissing people off. So that's kind of nice. And I was able to talk to CSU players, for instance, about, you know, some fun things with the border war. And, you know, for instance, Colin Hill getting whacked by Marcus Epps last year in the back and stuff like that. And he was very open about how miserable it was and how he was in a lot of pain for a long time. But stuff like that was great. Of course, every team right now thinks they're going to win it. Everybody's excited.
Even San Jose State at this point.
Yeah, they're encouraged. They've got some money coming into the program to fix their stadium, so they think that's going to help a lot. Hawaii's in the same boat. San Diego State's in the same boat. One really, really interesting tidbit I took, and I think you guys will appreciate this. I talked to Utah State's quarterback, Jordan Love, who has a Heisman campaign going for him right now. He had little heart candies on the table with his name on it, you know, for Heisman. And he said that the new coaching staff coming in with Gary Anderson, who was previously at Utah State 5-6 years ago, I said, you know, are you worried that you're going to get out of rhythm? Utah State's they're climbing right now. And he said, you know, with learning a new offense. And he said, no, the coaches are learning our offense from last year. I thought that was really interesting, that most coaches have the ego where their offense is awesome. That's why they got where they are. And instead of having 100 guys learn your offense, they're learning the offense that worked under Matt Wells, who's now at Texas Tech. So I found that interesting.
Give credit to at least the Aggies, where they are at least right behind Boise State. Obviously, Boise State is that favorite out of the mountain, and including the Mountain West year in and year out. Again, you can't disrespect that, but Utah State's going to give them a run for their money. And now having that understanding regarding the Utah State Aggies, you know, a team that we saw where they were a few points, I do believe 3 points short last year, and at least against Michigan State to at least run the table potentially. And that just bodes wonders of what that could do to elevate the Mountain West coming up here in the 2019 season, to kind of put them on the map regarding the Power 5 conferences here in NCAA football.
Well, and Wyoming has a chance to do that right off the bat with Missouri coming in. So Coach Bull talked a lot about that, about Kelly Bryant. Of course, he's been watching a lot of Kelly Bryant's videos, and he knows what he's facing, but he said Missouri's just as excited to come to Laramie. And it sounds like some of these P5 teams, especially the mid-level ones like in Missouri, they're excited to get out here because they know this isn't a gimme and they know it's tough to play here. So they're not considering it just a walkthrough or a warm-up.
Yeah, and let's talk about some of these contests coming up for 2019 for the Wyoming Cowboys. As you mentioned with the Missouri game, the little specialty behind that is they will do the stripe out game where they're trying to coordinate the sections off to brown and gold. Also, too, at least as you mentioned, at least at the Idaho game here at War Memorial Stadium, bringing about the Black 14, having that opportunity to showcase some of the history of the Cowboys, at least football program. And also, too, something else that's coming down the line this season as well that we've talked about, we promoted as well, that Wyoming is at least sponsoring the military appreciation, where if you are able to at least pre-purchase tickets, so to speak, you are able to, they will give it out to military families for completely free to attend a game throughout the season. So kind of cool promotions. Just I want to kind of get your thoughts on that, of what Wyoming is trying to do this year to get fans out there, get them participated, a part of this Cowboy football season that's kind of a bit of a question mark again, we saw last year fans not getting out to War Memorial after a few losses here and there, but, talk about just your thoughts on UW trying to get fans out with these kind of promotions, so to speak.
Yeah, you give it up to them, for trying. That's great. And usually those first games, especially with an SEC team, you figure that's going to be a sellout. But, the thing, as a Wyoming fan my whole life, the thing that always drove me nuts is you lose one game, you lose two games, then all of a sudden hunting season comes around and it's a nightmare. Mm-hmm. That's 10,000 people at least that are out there in the mountains listening on the radio, or so they say. So the hunting stuff kills us, and winning is key. If you're winning, it doesn't matter how cold it is. It doesn't matter that you can go hunting on Sunday. You can go hunting on Monday. Take some days off. So really, that's the whole thing, and we've talked a lot about that within the company, how important winning is. When they win, the state is so excited, and the state rallies and gets behind them. Something I just did with the cartoon we put out every week is the 2006-2007 Wyoming Cowgirls WNIT Championship. Talk about people getting behind that. I'd never been to a women's game in my life. No desire. None. But that team just captured the imagination.
Well, and the difference between, at least, and you still see the ramifications of that, but also too, it's the key word of consistency. Yes. Where with the Wyoming Cowboys basketball program, football, it's been inconsistent. We see years, and we've talked about with Craig Bull, even heading into his sixth season, he's had his ups and downs. Again, last year missing out on a bowl bid, a 2-9 season or something like that. At least 2-10 season, at least in one of these. So the key thing, and again, as being part of at least in University of Wyoming athletics and just seeing it kind of on the outside in, I think fans out here, not to say, well, I guess use the more lack of a better term, again, fickle fan base. They want wins. They want a consistency. And I think that's just the issue right now, that why these teams are having hurt in attendance is we're not seeing consistency out on those fields or on the court.
Yeah, and, not to hand anybody an excuse, but when I lived in Worland for a while, it's definitely not easy to go 10 hours round trip. I did it, but I'm definitely an idiot. So
no, you're the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
and I'm glad you're bringing that up. By the way, we're talking with Cody Tucker, founder of 7220sports.com. If you are banking on Cheyenne and Laramie to support the Wyoming Cowboys and fill up that stadium, yes, we have the population base, but no, we're not going to do it every weekend.
Right.
We need Rock Springs. Mm-hmm. We need Casper.
Rollins. Yeah.
We need everybody, Cody. Again, if you're going to make that one trip of the year, mm-hmm. then you have to blast down to Laramie. But like you said, 10 hours round trip to Worland. Or Evanston, it's another, 6-hour trip.
Yeah.
Do you spend the night?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, and again, family of 4, tickets.
Right.
Missouri's not going to be cheap.
No.
Okay?
That's why people are so pissed about CSU being on a Friday night.
And that's also high school football night.
Right.
And that's a Mountain West thing that we understand, and that's monies.
Sure.
We had that issue last year, but they're just going to roll with it once again.
Well, one thing that you said that was interesting about consistency is I asked Craig Bull if he thought about going outside the blueprint this year with so many holes on the roster. Did he think about going that JC path? Did he think about looking harder at those guys? And we lost 2 unbelievable safeties.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about going to find a safety? We lost 2 awesome defensive ends and a nose tackle. Did you ever think about it? He said no, because at North Dakota State, he built it with high school players, and it took some time, but once you get that to click, that's consistency, because you have those young kids that have been together that whole time, and he feels, and I feel to a degree, that this could be the first chance with Sean Chambers, who is a freshman again, that you can have a quarterback at Wyoming for 4 years, which we have not had since Casey Bramlett. So you can have a guy, which we all know the quarterback's the most important part. So if you have a 4-year guy to build around like they potentially do right now, that's where he feels sneaky confident. The first time I met him, the first second I met him, he said, "We're lying in the weeds. We're ready to pounce."
All right, we're going to be back with more with Cody Tucker after we take this time out. So you take a break, catch your breath, and we'll be right back with more here on 1480 KRAE. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
The end of the summer is in sight. Did you accomplish all of your home improvements and remodeling projects? Whether you're remodeling your kitchen or adding a little extra space for your growing family, the Home Equity Line of Credit with Platte Valley Bank can help you finish what you want to complete this summer. So stop in and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a Home Equity Line of Credit with Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. All lines of credit are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is number one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne. The message is simple: drive sober or get pulled over. If you drink and drive, remember it's illegal and it can cost you your freedom or worse, your life. It's been determined that a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or more can impair you considerably when you are behind the wheel. Financially, it can devastate you if you get arrested. More importantly, it could result in losing a friend or a family member. That price is too high to pay. Call a designated driver after enjoying a night out and get home safe. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
To celebrate Taco John's 50th anniversary, our famous Sierra Chicken Sandwich is back. With grilled chicken and original Sierra sauce wrapped in a warm flatbread, the Sierra Chicken Sandwich is better than ever. Plus, we're giving you a chance to win $50,000, free food, and other great prizes with any medium or large drink purchase. 1 in 3 cups is a winner. Enter the code on the cup to see if you've won $50,000, free food, or other great prizes. The more you play, the more you win. Ole the day at Taco John's.
In life, you question everything. The same should be true when it comes to managing your wealth. What are your investment recommendations based on? How much are you paying in fees? And how can those fees impact your returns? Charles Schwab encourages investors to get engaged and ask tough questions. To learn more, call the Schwab Cheyenne branch at 307-459-0998 or visit schwab.com/Cheyenne. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame.
Let's play ball!
You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
It's time to play the game. Put your money on the table. Come on. It's the one game you never.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today from 7220sports.com. We are chatting with Cody Tucker. We had some nice conversations here within the 3 minutes that we had the break.
Well,
so let's.
And I want to continue off of outside of the break, as we were alluding to, or at least Cody, you were talking about, of the current scheme, or at least current folks right now in Laramie with the Wyoming Cowboy, at least Cowboy football program. Something that we've talked a bit about. We complained a bit, and again, fans have been vocal as well too about what last year's team was. Again, the offense that was so predictable in our eyes. As you talk with Coach Craig Bull and got the understanding, at least a part of this Vegas media day, at least last week, I do believe so. But talking with Coach Craig Bull, did you get a feeling and understanding of, will there be an offensive change coming up? Will he change the schemes around a bit? Do we have any indication that things will be different this year for Wyoming Cowboy football offense?
Well, one of the questions I asked him right off the bat was, can this kid throw? Can Sean Chambers throw? He threw the ball 25 times last year. He said after the CSU game, an NFL GM came up to him and said something along the lines of, you guys got a horse back there, but can the horse throw? And then we saw the horse break his leg against Air Force. He did say that Sean Chambers, they only had about 5 plays for him last year, which it doesn't get much more predictable than that.
Which we all said here during the break.
Right.
That's all. I mean, he comes on. He comes on in relief, and he only knows 5 plays.
And that was something that I interjected with. That tells you how much that Craig Bull and staff had confidence in Tyler Vanderwall to beat the guy.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it, and you're absolutely right. 5 is a little insane, though. I mean, to me, that's insane, because you'd think he was running scout team, right?
Yeah.
So he probably knows other people's plays better than Wyoming's. But I know Bull said that he told Vegan, hey, if he can't get 5 down, drop it to 4, drop it to 3. And we saw that. And we saw him get killed. So he said that Sean's got about 85% of the playbook down right now, and he said he compared him to Josh Allen as far as saying he can't throw like Josh, but he can throw. He's got a good release, and we saw that a couple times against CSU. We saw a couple of beautiful touchdown passes down there, but we didn't see it enough. And when the defense can key on you like that, which he still did a great job even though they were keying on him, but like you said, it doesn't last. It didn't.
And the question mark, at least going off of that as well, too, is as we talk with CJ again with the health issue where he's retired officially. We have a few running backs that have left the program as well. Offensive line that is just kind of detrimented at this point in time.
With the patchwork.
Well, it certainly is. But as we talk about the arm strength and trying to get an understanding about Sean Chambers, is he going to be able to throw the football this year? Is he going to have targets out there to at least catch that ball? Something you talked about, I do believe, at least off air or at least at some point in time in the interview of, we had trouble getting separation from at least last year from our wide receivers.
Yeah.
But again, is he going to be able to showcase that arm this season?
Right, and like you said, it could be an ad-lib type of offense again at some points, especially if you get down or all of a sudden your offensive line's leaking like a sieve, then you're screwed and you better figure something out. But where Craig surprised me is when I said, hey, man, CJ, that's a big loss. I know you got 3 seniors coming back anyway, but those 3 seniors didn't get separation last year. And with the quarterback sure to not get much time to throw again, that's kind of scary. But the thing he brought up, which I was so impressed with, he said, we have 3 tight ends right now. That's the group that needs to get it up right now, is these 3 tight ends we got, including Josh Harshman, who's the leader of that group. He's got big physical tight ends that he doesn't want them to just block. Go downfield and get open. And what better outlet for a young quarterback with a shoddy offensive line than an outlet that's right in front of you 5-10 yards down the field.
Well, and, they run the pro-style offense, and, where you're trying to hit the tight end will be down the seam more than anything. But the problem I have, and again, John Chambers and, again, Tyler Vanderwall, they can't wear Josh Allen's jockstrap, as far as I'm concerned. No. Josh Allen was a great ad-libber. What tells me about the pro-style offense that they brought from North Dakota here is that it might work there, but it's not working here in Laramie. And second of all, are we going to be watching Sean Chambers do more of, hey, I got to ad-lib, I'm going to tuck it and run? Because I have a feeling this is what we're going to see. Same with Tyler Vanderwall last year. We're going to see a lot of running for our life where Josh Allen got away with it.
Yeah.
These guys can't.
And I think Sean will to a degree, but I like your point about North Dakota. Those are much smaller defensive lines, much slower linebacking cores. You can't just push your way through. And as we see when Wyoming lines up against some of these teams, like we'll see against Missouri, I just wrote about them yesterday. Their nose guard's about 6'4", 315. That's a huge human being, and he's a sophomore. So that kind of, I just look at him alone. Who the hell's going to move that guy out of the way? So stuff like that is, this line needs to gel. They need to gel quickly. Mm-hmm. And who knows? We got a new offensive line coach this year. Who knows what could happen? Sometimes they come together, but I think, like you said, if he's going to have to ad-lib and he's going to have to run, that's where Chambers is the guy. Tyler didn't have that elusive, get the hell out of Dodge kind of thing like Chambers does. But he doesn't have he needs to show the arm.
Well, again, and the offensive package. I mean, let's be real, guys. And we said it, too, during the break. Very predictable. Mm-hmm. Boo Birds came out in force last year, especially at War Memorial Stadium. I have a problem with this offense. And Coach Bolas, kind of gave me the cold shoulder about it. But you're throwing an 8-yard out, but you're throwing the ball 40 yards to get an 8-yard out.
Right.
I mean, I sit there sometimes and go to Vegan. Are you watching the same game I'm watching?
Right.
And again, between him and Coach Bowl, their record is showing their ineffectiveness of running the offense.
Right. And you got to have the horses to do it, and that's the hard part. How do you get those horses up front? We've had the horses at linebacker. We've had the horses at wide receiver and tight end. We just haven't seen it consistently with that offensive line.
Well, and that's an issue with at least kind of recruiting at this point in time, or at least, again, personnel or just coaching philosophies out
not
there.
Going the JC route.
Absolutely. Again, where I think, especially on the offensive side, but you look to defense, where defense is now so depleted where, we talked about last year where you held the defense that was going to at least
I held them in high standard.
keep them high standard, and respectively so, but at least we put them on that pedestal to at least help Cowboys get victories last year, where we saw early on, especially against Washington State and a few other games, where that defense got tired. It basically it wore itself out to the point where, hey folks, we can't be out here for a majority of the game. We need some more help. Now with, again, those pieces that are now gone and some of the top-level talents, it is a team that is kind of loaded for bear this season.
Yeah, and depth is going to be a gigantic issue. There's a lot of guys on the defensive side that are pretty good. We saw them come in mop-up roles last year and in backup roles and do a good job, especially on the defensive line. But who's behind them?
And you got about a half dozen guys that know the defensive scheme, been there, did it, done it. Obviously, Logan Wilson is, we got to keep this guy healthy first and foremost.
Crossed,
But and you're absolutely right though too, Nick. We saw them wear down against Wofford.
Right.
I mean, this is the thing I got a problem with this offensive package. It's never tweaked. It's the same package week in, week out. Now again with Chambers, does that add the extra running back to the backfield? I don't know. And again, first and foremost, how is he going to react after getting popped a little bit last year? Same thing that Josh Allen. Now Josh Allen, after he got hurt on his second play, his sophomore year,
second drive,
his freshman year, and then he comes back the next season, not tentative, but it took him a while to step up and say, hey, I can take off and run. So again, Josh Allen, I put way up on the ad-lib chart. Sean Chambers, no. Tyler Vanderwall, all I saw last year, him running for his life.
Well, think about this a little bit, too. Can you think of a quarterback at Wyoming that hasn't ad-libbed in the last 10 to 12 years? I mean, Austin Carter-Samuels, Brett Smith, those guys got the hell beat out of them, and they ran and they did what they got to do, but that's that competitive nature. And the one thing that was really encouraging to hear about Sean Chambers is he has the locker room. And that was heard from Cooper Roth, Logan Wilson, and Craig Bull, and I heard it from Nick Smith, the third stringer last year. When he came into that Utah State game, Craig Bull said the entire defense stood up on the sideline, including Andrew Wingert, who wouldn't stand up for anything, he said. And they stood up to watch him go out there. And he has a command of the locker room. Everybody respects him. He commands respect. I thought that was pretty telling for a youngster like that. And we just haven't seen yet. I mean, we've seen 25 pass attempts. But obviously now we know that he didn't know a lot of the offense, so
right.
That's kind of scary to think about in a good way.
Okay, so we've gone through the schedule.
It's almost a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, we've gone through the schedule. Yeah. And again, the Mountain West Conference meetings has the Cowboys pretty much tabbed where we all think they're going to be somewhere around number 4,
Again,
5.
I think you could split hairs between CSU and Wyoming. It might come down to that border.
I think you could split hairs between Wyoming and Air Force.
I actually, I'll put Air Force up there. They're older. They're a lot better. I think, and they proved it in Laramie last year. They got stupid towards the end, and there's no reason why they shouldn't have walked out of Laramie.
You got to play Air Force at Air Force.
And you got to play them down in Colorado Springs, and that setting down there, no matter if they're 0-10, is still 57,000 strong.
I keep telling people it could be Wyoming could win 3 games this year, or they could win 7. We just don't know. We don't know what to expect.
I've got them right there in the middle. I got them about 5 wins.
Yeah.
Now I guess the question, this begs the question to you, and this is just personal opinion, and I think Nick, you had that poll out. If Bowl is under the Mendoza line this year, do we give him another chance?
Yes. Personally, I have higher expectations.
Yeah.
Even as a fan, I have higher expectations. But I actually have asked a few people that if they think that maybe Craig's on the hot seat, depending on how this year goes, and people have been laughing at me. But that just shows where we're at right now. Wyoming has not been bowl eligible for 3 straight years. You know, people want to look at that. Kind of like with Edwards winning a CBI title. That didn't register on my radar whatsoever, winning a CBI title. None.
Yeah.
No.
I don't even remember it.
I think you're 150th best in the nation or something like that.
Not impressed.
Yeah, it's a situation with Craig Bull. It's something where I think you as a fan, and again, for me as again, not a diehard fan, but again, still following this team, it is still my, being from the state of Wyoming, still follow Cowboy athletics, but it is something where, again, I go back to the term, and it's something that I just want, and it's something that where we see out of the Boise States of the world, what we're seeing out of Fresno right now, at least on the football side. Utah State's now getting into that fray. Why can't Wyoming Cowboy football be consistent like those? Why can't we be a Boise State of the world that goes to bowl game after bowl game after bowl game and sit at top of those Mountain Division standings?
I agree, and they've done it before. They did it before they had the fancy buildings and the fancy weight rooms. When they practiced outside in the 60s and they were dominant in the late 80s, those teams could win. The late 70s had some teams. The late 90s had some teams. The hardest part has been the consistency part, and that's where I kind of drink the bowl juice because I think about, if you do hit that right, you can have some guys for a long time. And I think about this a lot too. We've had some great pieces over the last decade, but none of them all seem to be on the same team at the same time. You have a great offense, a horrible defense. Imagine if Josh Allen and Gentry and those cats had that defense last year. The defense wouldn't have worn out.
No.
And it would have been good stuff. And something I found interesting from a fellow media member asked Craig Bull, why don't you use the elevation to your,
advantage?
Your advantage. And he said, are you kidding me? We can't because the defense will be out on the field. If we go 3 and out, the defense will be out on the field in no time. And I said, kind of seemed that way the last few years anyway, Coach.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's pretty much the norm at this point in time.
You look at the schedule, and you talked about Air Force, and if I'm not mistaken on that schedule, they go to Boise, they go to Utah State, and then they draw Air Force.
They have CSU between them.
Right, but I'm talking about their 3 road games that
November's a bear for sure.
Yeah, and again too, if this team is going to get bowl eligible, it's not going to happen in the mid part of the season.
No, you got to make hay early. And I just did the preview story on Texas State. That's not going to be a pushover whatsoever.
And Tulsa's always a tough place to
Wyoming
play.
always plays like crap in Tulsa, too.
Oh, they
earmark that.
They get blasted in Tulsa.
Again, the only guarantee win, as much as I hate to say it again, as being an alum of the Vandals, again, University of Idaho, that is pretty much a check mark of you should destroy this team.
Only CSU loses to the Vandals. Come on, man.
So when do we start looking at this Cowboy team and say, hey, it's not there, hey, it's there? Is Missouri going to be the litmus test, or do we come back from Tulsa and we say, that pretty much is a microcosm of our season? When do we actually say, Coach Bull, it's not there this year?
Yeah, Bull kind of answered that question. He said that halfway through the first quarter of that Northern Illinois game a couple years ago, he said, I don't know how good we're going to be, but we're a hell of a lot better than we are. And he said, if you asked me after the first quarter against Missouri this year, you'll know, and we'll know if we're better or if we're making those strides that we want to see.
We'll be interested to see, again, that Missouri game coming up August 30th there at Laramie, Wyoming. Again, an interesting contest, 5:30 start time. You can also watch it on CBS Sports Network if you can't afford a ticket as well, too.
We go over to the west side,
Yeah.
and this year we don't draw San Jose State, we don't draw Fresno State, we don't draw Hawaii.
Right.
We do get San Diego State, perennial, good football program every year.
Would you go to San Diego State?
Now, my question is, one of the teams that we do draw this year, they're kind of that team that's that fringe team right now. They make me nervous, are the Wolfpack.
Yep.
They're quietly building to be that top team in Nevada.
Yep.
Vegas has not taken the bait and run with it.
But UNLV has been in those dogfights with it. Again, I've been out those
I know,
days.
but the Wolfpack seems to be, we've got our act together, and we're gonna be that bowl eligible team.
Yeah, I'm glad that game's in Laramie. If I'm a Wyoming fan, I'm glad that game's in Laramie because I'm with you. I think they're on the rise. They had their players were very confident at media days. There was no, they kind of stuck out to me as the most laid back players at media days. They kicked back and said, you talk about San Diego State and Fresno State all you want, but we're just going to they kept saying that kind of thing. We're just going to let the talking happen on the field. And
Gotta have that chip on their shoulder. So
and I asked about Logan Wilson, do you think he should be upset he wasn't a first-team selection? And he said, no, because he will be at the end of the year, and that's when it matters.
Right, absolutely.
Certainly.
But UNLV, that's an interesting thing. I talked to Tony Sanchez quite a bit, their head coach, and he was a great guy, and he just he thinks that big things are going to happen when they move into the Raiders Stadium. When I see 200 people in a 75,000-seat stadium, he sees people going, they can't afford the Raiders, so they're going to come here. But the question I didn't want to ask him because I wasn't writing the story is, do you think you're going to be around to see that? Because that's a guy who is on the hot seat. They have a tough schedule this year, and their athletic director already came out and basically said, bowl game or bust, especially moving into a new NFL stadium.
Absolutely, but at least for UNLV, once they do move into that Raiders stadium, that is a nice little recruiting tool as well of saying, hey, we got this brand new, beautiful stadium that you could come play at and be your home, at least home crowd. Here's that opportunity. So, again, UNLV is an interesting foe to take on, but again, both Nevada teams come to Laramie. So, as we talked about earlier, and something that Craig Bowler, or at least hopefully this Wyoming Cowboy team, does use to their advantage, is that elevation.
Yeah.
Uses that 72-20 to take down those UNLV and Nevada teams that do come to Laramie coming up. Also, too, before we let you go, Cody, again, appreciate you joining us in the studio today, talking about Mountain West and also, too, Wyoming Cowboy football. But also with Mountain West Media Days happening in Vegas, announcements as we've been trying to figure out the whole bowl situation for the Mountain West Conference as we've lost a bowl. Now we're trying to figure out where we're putting the top dog team at, so to speak. Where also, too, the Mountain West Championship is going to be held at as well. Some big interesting comments from Commissioner Craig Thompson about the future for Mountain West, at least postseason play for football.
Yeah, and honestly, for Wyoming fans, I wouldn't get too excited about the LA Bowl. They get their first choice, whether it's the winner or not, and we've been down that road before. So the one that's interesting is the Cheez-It Bowl or whatever I believe it's called down in Phoenix. That one, if we could potentially move into that and get a seventh bowl game out of that, so that could be nice. But right now, for this year, we're married to what we're married to. And the thing I asked Craig about was the Wyoming not getting in a bowl last year. What do you do as commissioner to try and make that happen? Do you beat the drum? Do you and he said he burned up the phone lines and yada yada. And of course, BYU playing in the Potato Bowl made things even worse for the locals around here. But
it also too doesn't help that Boise State at least gets the bigger bowl. It doesn't even play the bowl game.
Right. And Boise State, those kind of programs are going to be the ones that Los Angeles is going to call on unless they find themselves with their hands tied.
It's interesting too when we've had our conversation off air and brought up a good point to me here in this discussion with Commissioner Thompson. Obviously, we're going to be the whiners here in our part of the world,
sure.
And I think we could throw CSU in there as well too, because of especially with the Fort Collins high schools and the Loveland high schools, and again, everybody is involved on a Friday. I mean, where is Commissioner Thompson's thinking? I know TV monies are being waived, and these monies get waived at the schools to go into their coffers, but also too, he's not doing a lot of favors to fans in this part of the world.
And do want to be fair, again, with that CSU game happening on Friday, it will be November 22nd, so past, at least here in the state of Wyoming, past our championship games.
No, but I'm reverting back to last year, but I'm also saying here, you got 8 o'clock games.
Yeah.
And again, the bulk of the Cheyenne, and I think you'll all agree with me, the bulk of the Cheyenne people that go to Laramie are about my age group and older.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be wanting to drive at 8 o'clock, or get out of the stadium at 11:30, with a television game.
Well, what's Wyoming's record at that point? If Wyoming's good at that point, really good, it won't matter. But if they're not, that's when you go, nah. It's on TV. I'll hang out and watch it on TV. But
it's on one of the ESPN networks or something.
Yeah. Well, with Thompson too, you're right. It's all about money. But then it turns into at least we're not the MAC and playing on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday in front of an empty stadium. And it's like, oh, okay, thank you. That makes me feel better.
I mean, I could go back to a few CBS Sports Network games last year, especially that showcase the brand new CSU Ram Stadium where that was dead empty. You could probably compare it to the MAC stadiums where it was just on the same pace of folks in Fort Collins. They're as fickle as up here in the state of Wyoming, where, again, if that team's not winning, they're not showing up
to that. CSU has, 3 million people within 50 miles?
Yeah,
it's even worse down there.
And, we're one snowstorm away.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're one snowstorm away from that stadium being down to about 3,000 people.
We're a threatening snowstorm away.
Yeah.
Those people have 3 million people. They're fickle. I would argue that Wyoming fans are not fickle, the real ones, because they'll get there. There's just not many of us, and stuff is so spread out. But when you let Denver right down the road and you can't sell out the Rocky Mountain Showdown, give me a break. 70,000 people at Mile High.
So let me ask you this question. We know that as we're talking to the state of Wyoming right now, we need people there for Mizzou.
Yeah.
And again, if we're smart, if this state is smart, we kind of say Mizzou's going to win. But the question is by how much. What would be, if you had your magic wand, Cody, and you said, hey, what game do I really want you to be at next that you need to be out supporting the kids? Which one?
God. Well, once again, I'm the exception.
No, but you're making that trip from Kemmer. You're making that trip from Orland. You're coming from Green River.
If I'm making the trip, it's Colorado State every time. It really is. I mean, Missouri, you're going to get good weather. It's going to be packed, but it's also going to be more expensive. And it's, like you, a lot of people think that Wyoming doesn't have a chance in that game.
But I'll be there.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You're not going to mark down the automatic win against the Idaho Vandals as well, too?
So
attend that September 14th?
Maybe because the weather's going to be good still, you would think. Yeah.
And that's still good weather before hunting season. Yeah. I think.
But Laramie, too, not having that many hotel rooms, and they sell out they're already sold out. I mean, we don't have a shot to get a hotel room right now.
You got to travel the 45 miles over to Cheyenne to at least book one here.
And people don't even realize how hard it is to get 45 miles from Cheyenne to Laramie.
Yeah.
I had to tell people that in Michigan. You have no idea what it takes to get to Laramie, Wyoming.
Right.
None. From anywhere.
And imagine, again, you think about it, too, and we're only talking about Cheyenne, and we're talking west 80, and then we got 25 north and south. But again, too, think about the crew that comes up through 287.
Yeah. We have 18,000 Colorado, Wyoming alumni right now that live in Colorado. A majority of the people are coming from the south.
Yeah.
And 287 is brutal. But we can't forget about that. We're drawing just as many people from northern Colorado as maybe CSU is some afternoons.
Yeah, no kidding.
So. Absolutely. At least final thought, and something I just want to kick around again, the potential of a Mountain West football championship at a neutral site, whether it is in L.A. or the Las Vegas NFL sites, brand new sites. What's kind of your thought on that? Would you rather have the better team host the game as what we've been seeing in the Mountain West Championship, or is this neutral site, which again, in my opinion, I think is perfectly, it's something that Mountain West desperately needs to kind of establish itself to compete with those Power 5 conferences. But what are your thoughts on this potential move for the Mountain West Conference?
Well, I'll tell you, Craig Bull hates it, and Rocky Long hates it. And Rocky Long was the guy who played against Craig Bull in that Mountain West Championship game in Laramie. And they could have very easily lost that game. I think it was 7 degrees outside. But Rocky talked about that atmosphere. You're not going to find that crazy raucous atmosphere at some stadium in L.A. or some stadium in Las Vegas.
So I disagree with you, too. I think whoever has the best record should be able to host. It's just like Major League Baseball. Who has the best record?
Yeah, and if UNLV has it, UNLV fans are going to show up. Plus, people want to go to Vegas. I can picture not Colorado State, but Air Force hosting it. It'd be great. I mean, it's great when it's on those.
Or if you're on the Smurf turf in Boise.
Yeah.
No,
last year was a great game.
Yeah, I say leave it alone.
Yeah.
Don't mess with it.
Yeah, and so do they.
All right, Cody. Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Looking forward to catching up with you during the football season, as it will be here. Officially starts for us on
We'll see
Friday.
you again on Friday.
Yeah.
We'll see him Friday in there.
We'll be chowing down and listening to all the verbiage that will be going on. And like Cody said, everybody's 0-0 to start off here in the first part of August. We're going to take a time out, come back, get ready for hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk today right here in 1480 KRAE. Under the definition of fun in the dictionary, they need to include 2 more words: Wyoming Downs. It's the perfect way to have fun with new and even more exciting simulcasting games on display, including Classic Heat, Great American Racing, Samurai Legacy, plus the Great Jackpot. That's just a sampling of fun that's happening today at Wyoming Downs. Make sure to get your player's card to enjoy triple points on Sundays, double points on Mondays. There's Mystery Moolah every Friday and Saturday, plus other special promotions going on at Wyoming Downs, with 2 fun locations in the Cheyenne Plaza at 3617 East Lincoln Way and at the Outlaw Saloon at 312 South Greeley Highway. Remember, for more information, go to wydowns.com.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480krae.com.
Some common things that can affect your personal or at-work computer. The worst of all is a virus. Secondly, it runs too slow because the hard drive is filled or something else internally is wrong, and it's in serious need of an upgrade. Before you get rid of it, let Lanny at Affordable Computer Repair attack and fix those problems right away. Affordable Computer Repair is just that. So call 307-256-8971 and let Lanny's many years of computer service get your computer back up and running the way it should be, so you don't miss a day of work or the personal use that you expect from it. He's worked on them all, so you'll feel confident he'll get the job done right. So don't junk it. Help is on the way from Affordable Computer Repair. Call 307-256-8971.
Make your drive anything but average with the 2019 Kia Sorento. I'm AJ Miller, and with the 2019 Kia Sorento, you get similar features like the competition standard models, but spend less. That puts more money in your pocket. Dynamax all-wheel drive, Smart Power liftgate, and Surround View monitor are some of the many features available on the Kia Sorento. Come into Kia of Cheyenne for exceptional value. Call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly cloudy with a possible thunderstorm this afternoon with highs around 88. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 58. On Thursday, it'll be cloudy with thunderstorms likely with highs around 78. And on Thursday night, it'll be cloudy once again with thunderstorms likely in the evening with lows around 55.
Capital Lumber is number 1 in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is number 1 today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
With hour number 2. And hour number 2 is being brought to you by our great group of folks, Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D, the Greenway Commons. Again, Paisan cuisine at its finest. From Joe and the crew there again. Family recipes, delicious eats, always from Mondello's Pizzeria. First Tier Bank's right across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. And again, banking done the old-fashioned way. Customer service, again, talk to them about their special CD rates going on right now. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue here in Cheyenne. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. Auto Body Shop for autos and trucks. And again, this has been going on for a quarter century where they've been fixing them up. Quality work always done on your vehicle. Matter of fact, Nick, I think you'll agree with me what they did on your in your Kia.
Yeah, it was, again, like brand new.
Yeah, excellent work. So, again,
I even got a coupon for any other repairs because I got window, or at least I got a chip in my window crack. So they gave a nice little 20% coupon to go use that at a future date.
All right. So, again, see them on Dunn Avenue. And, again, the Auto Glass Detail Center can be seen over on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Same location as always. Again, Gene and great staff invite you to come on by. They're open Monday through Saturday. Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Chick-fil-A, the corner Windmill and Del Range. Again, they got their specialty going on right now for a limited time. Their Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich, along with their Strawberry Passion Tea Lemonade. Or you just go to the old fan favorites, their good old-fashioned chicken sandwich, their waffle fries. And how about a vanilla shake? How about that for dinner tonight? Check them out. Chick-fil-A. Go online, CheyenneChicken.com. Maybe you need them to come on over and cater your special event, whether it's an anniversary, a birthday, office gathering. Get a hold of our good friends Ray and Cindy, the crew over at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range, right across from Powers Field, and, of course, from Menards. Platte Valley Bank ×2. Banking done the old-fashioned way. Again, as we always say, customer service first and foremost. And you can do it the high technology way, do it online. Yeah, they offer everything over there at Platte Valley Bank on Vanda High and, of course, on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing. Key of Cheyenne over in Nation Way. Again, 19s must move, and you'll find some special deals going on. Yes, AJ told me special deals going on, so check out what's happening over at Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. And we also want to thank Taco John's of Cheyenne, where it is your home for the Sierra Chicken Sandwich. It's back, but for a limited time. Don't snooze, you lose at all Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get things underway at Scoreboard Time. It's being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
In Wyoming, American Legion Baseball, at least single A tournament action right now happening, and games should be underway right now, or at least getting started, between the Cheyenne Hawks and the Riverton Raiders. Up there as we continue at least pool play, get all set up for the championship tournament. Again, for Cheyenne Hawks, who are undefeated at this point in time, looking to at least keep that streak going against the Riverton Raiders, again, happening up right now in Douglas, Wyoming. And also, too, do want to remind folks, again, coming up tomorrow here in town at the Converse Softball Complex, Cheyenne Extreme tryouts. They will be happening. Registration is 5:30. Tryouts between 6 and 8 p.m. With this tryout, again, there is no tryout fee. Again, Cheyenne Extreme tryouts happening tomorrow at Converse Softball Complex.
Major League Baseball final in. Yankees in the Bronx have defeated the Diamondbacks today by the count of 7-5. From Coors Field, they have moved to the bottom of the ninth inning, and the Rocks are being blanked as they are losing to the Dodgers by the count of 5-0. Top of the seventh in SoCal at Angel Stadium, Anaheim. It's the Motor City Kitties of Detroit leading 4-1. Finals that are also in. Bravos have defeated the Nats 5-4 today. That went 10 innings at Nationals Park. Reds at Great American Ballpark, they dumped the Pirates 4-1. Blue Jays get past the Royals 4-1 at Kauffman Stadium. Games when we get off the air. Here's what's going to be happening. Giants Phils at Citizens Bank Ballpark for this evening. Astros Indians at Progressive Field. Rays Red Sox at Fenway. Twins will take on the Marlins at Marlins Park in Miami. 6 o'clock game will have the Cubs and the Cardinals at Busch. Mariners Rangers at Globe Life. It will be the Mets and the White Sox interleague play at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. And the late game will have the Athletics in the Coliseum. They will play host again to the Milwaukee Brewers, also in interleague play. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
We're working hard for your business. I'm AJ Miller at Kia of Cheyenne, and right now you could save on the 2019 Kia Forte. The 2019 Kia Forte is priceless, yet still offers standard features not found on most of its competitors. With Kia Forte, you can charge your phone with available wireless charging, voice command navigation, and 8-inch touchscreen to help sync up your world. Come into Kia of Cheyenne or call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Wisdom, expertise, compassion, qualities that are the foundation of Cheyenne Urological, with Doctors Bryant, Everett, Gajewski, and their highly trained staff providing top quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence. You can trust Cheyenne Urological to give you the highest quality urinary care. Now offering the latest in robotic surgery, call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131. That's 635-4131.
Under the definition of fun in the dictionary, they need to include 2 more words: Wyoming Downs. It's the perfect way to have fun with new and even more exciting simulcasting games on display, including Classic Heat, Great American Racing, Samurai Legacy, plus the Great Jackpot. That's just a sampling of fun that's happening today at Wyoming Downs. Make sure to get your player's card to enjoy triple points on Sundays, double points on Mondays. There's Mystery Moolah every Friday and Saturday, plus other special promotions going on at Wyoming Downs, with 2 fun locations in the Cheyenne Plaza at 3617 East Lincoln Way and at the Outlaw Saloon at 312 South Greeley Highway. Remember, for more information, go to wydowns.com.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly cloudy with a possible thunderstorm this afternoon with highs around 88. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 58. On Thursday, it'll be cloudy with thunderstorms likely with highs around 78. And on Thursday night, it'll be cloudy once again with thunderstorms likely in the evening with lows around 55.
Here, the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk today, hour number 2. First off, thank you again to Cody Tucker joining us in hour number 1. Nice conversation again, talking Pokes football. But
again, as we get ready for it again, tomorrow, August 31st is the first game. We are getting set in stone for Wyoming Cowboy athletics, whether it is football, volleyball, cross country. We are getting close to it. I think at least even here on the local side with LCCC, I think we're one day away from at least LCCC men's and women's soccer athletes. They will set foot on campus coming up tomorrow. I think 2 days from now, at least on Friday, I do believe, for LCCC volleyball. Student athletes will step on campus over there. So, again, we are getting prepared for a lot of athletics to revamp. Fall sports are almost here in the state of Wyoming, including the city of Cheyenne.
All right, so here's what we want to remind you of Cody's work on 7220sports.com. Again, takes you back in time. You know, the days of yesteryear, and again, you know, the blast from the past. So those of you that, you know, like Nick, who was born in 1990 and, you know, knows a little bit about the Cowboys, but not enough. Like maybe don't even know about the Holiday Bowl teams.
No.
4 years before you were born. You know, these are things that Cody's going to bring back to life And again, some of the stars that made a name for themselves by being with the Wyoming Cowboys.
It's almost like
program.
if you read some of the stories again of finding old Cowboy greats, especially whether it is football or basketball, he's been doing both kind of sports right now in some pieces, but it is almost kind of like a 30 for 30 that you'd see on ESPN of, here's what this athlete did in the past, where kind of the road led at University of Wyoming, and also too kind of catches up of where are you today. It's pretty much of what has happened post your college career, has it been good or bad, and where are you today. It is kind of interesting human interest pieces that Cody does on 7220 Sports. Besides also too the at least history, which again obviously is great to look back on, at least for University of Wyoming Cowboy athletics, but he does do current stuff as well too, current articles, like again as we mentioned, he was out in Vegas covering the Mountain West Conference media days out there. Also too, not only does he spotlight University of Wyoming clearly as he should, but he does take a look at least around the conference as well. He did have a story about the homecoming game for CSU, about their new helmets that they'll be unveiling, the uniforms as well too that they'll unveil. He has bits on that, and also too did a little at least talk about the Mountain West Media Day of Mountain West football, encompassing, as we mentioned, with the bowl games and also too the potential of the Mountain West Championship football game. Does talk about the conference in general as well.
All right, let's stick a fork in Cody. He's done.
Well, I do want to mention it.
I want to talk baseball.
Well, yeah, I do want to mention about the bowl games as well, too, because we did not get into it. Of what is currently for the Mountain West on stake due to the loss of the Las Vegas Bowl with that situation. Again, the bowl games that do exist right now for the Mountain West, at least established where Mountain West teams are guaranteed in this. They're not at-large bid. New Mexico Bowl, the Potato Bowl, Arizona Bowl, and the Hawaii Bowl, and last but not least, one ESPN determined bowl game as well. So not
the first four bowls you mentioned, they're not big payday bowls, okay?
No.
So there you go. And I'm sorry that I kind of cut you off, because the bowls that are promised to the Mountain West, who cares?
Yeah, but also too, it does say for Cowboy fans, where we saw last year where the Cowboys were outside looking in, being 6-6, being bowl eligible, and basically getting kicked to the side, kicked to the curb, so to speak. As we look at the bowls that have now dwindled for the Mountain West Conference, at least for 2019. It just makes it that much more tough for the Wyoming Cowboys if they do finish 6-6 or a 7-5 season, to get that automatic berth.
It's going to be a scramble. Yeah, you become bowl eligible by winning 6 games. You're not necessarily going to get into the bowl.
Clearly, as we saw last year.
And what hurt the Cowboys last year, Nick? Let's go back to
your quality of wins. Your quality
of wins were garbage last year. So, maybe Craig Thompson was working the phones trying to get the Cowboys a bowl game. But some of the places
somehow I have a hard time believing that.
But I'm just saying, the thing is, though,
I think Craig Thompson more last year was more on the phones and focusing on what he could do for Boise State than what he was doing for a 6-6 Cowboys
I'm
team.
just saying that the thing is, the places that have these bowl openings, they're going to want a quality team that's, and again,
you want your Power Fives in there.
But this is no diss on Cowboy fans travel. If you tell them to go to Cucamonga, California, they'll be there. Okay? And we will bring a good contingent with us. But the point is, they want the draw. The Cowboys weren't the draw last year. And if they become bowl eligible this year, I don't think they're going to be the draw again.
And it's not just so much the bowl committees, it's also to the advertisers, where, again, these are all being broadcast, whether it is on ESPN networks, wherever any others might, Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports, it doesn't matter. But, again, you do have advertisers part of those bowls as well, and they do want eyeballs to tune in to watch those ads to garner revenue and monies towards whatever is going on out there. So again, a Wyoming versus a Bowling Green or a Western Kentucky or something like that may not be a premier matchup. They might pass on of saying, hey, Cowboys, you're 6-6. You're already behind the 8 ball with being in a state that is dead last in population here out of all 50 in the U.S. We'll go somewhere else where we're going to draw a little bit better population and maybe more eyeballs to the TV screens of what's going on here. But again, that's here here nor there, and we'll see what happens. Again, we still got plenty of football to get through before we determine who's going bowling this season.
All right, we are going to take a quick timeout, and then we're going to come back so we can change the pace a little bit, get into baseball. Yes, finally, some deals were pulled off. Matter of fact, one deal was pulled off last night while the team was in the middle of a brawl. So we'll be back after these words.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM, and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures, makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A. The most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Don't move firewood. Firewood can carry insects and diseases that kill trees. Remember to always get firewood as close to your destination as possible. Burn firewood where you buy or gather it. Trees in towns and forests are threatened by native and exotic insects and diseases that can hitch a ride in a load of firewood. Let's keep forests healthy so we can continue to enjoy camping, hiking, hunting, and fishing. Brought to you by the Wyoming State Forestry Division in cooperation with the U.S. Forest Service.
Family owned and operated, Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company offers many different types of rock, stones, boulders, and other decorative products that make a perfect addition to your yard or landscape. You'll find river rock, flagstone, lava rock, pavers, along with compost, mulch, and a lot more. So stop into Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company today to find out what will be best for improving your front or backyard. A family tradition since 1977, Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company open 7 days a week, all season long on North Yellowstone Road in Cheyenne.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480, KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Perotti, along with my son, Nick Perotti. I just got a note here from Chad Whitworth, and this is a news release. This concerns sports high school team ethics awards that were announced.
All right.
And the United Soccer Coaches announced its spring high school teams ethics and sportsmanship awards on Monday, with 3 teams receiving the Platinum Award for completing the entire 2019 season without receiving a yellow or red card.
That'd be one women's soccer program at Cheyenne Central, I do believe.
I'm trying to run down here the gold award. I have not yet. Here we go. Cheyenne Central received the silver award. Coach Norman for the girls program. So congratulations to Coach Norman and the girls soccer team. So I'm just trying to see what they have here. It says platinum is no cards accumulated during the season. Gold, percentage of cards accumulated during the season ranging from 10%. Silver, percentage of cards accumulated during the season ranging from 11. That's 30%. So, again, being recognized nationally, the Cheyenne Central Girls Soccer Program.
Yeah,
so I just got that just sent to me.
All right. Yeah, and again, that is I think that has been kind of known throughout at least the state of Wyoming. Again, for at least Jeff Norman's crew, and again, we've talked with him a few times on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Again, does keep his team very disciplined. It obviously does pay off, whether it is getting a state title or just being one goal short, one controversial goal short of winning back-to-back state titles. But obviously, we have plenty of time to get into at least girls soccer, as that is still ways away, still on the back end of all high school athletics coming up here in 2019-2020.
All right, so let's do it. Let's talk Major League Baseball.
Well, we had our big names, and we've had a few, at least of last night. At least one got moved, but we've had a few big names on the move throughout Major League Baseball, so kind of a bit surprising where I said it was not going to happen, but it did. Well, again, it seemed like trade deadline was going to be quiet to the point where you would have minor trades, but no big names, no Madison Bumgarners, no DeGroms, no Syndergaards, no nothing like that was on the move coming up in trade deadline. Well, granted, those three did not move on, as we know. Again, Madison Bumgarner, same with Will Smith, two big names that were tossed out on trade deadline, or at least to be traded from the San Francisco Giants. Are staying Giants, as they rightfully should, as we talked about with Chris yesterday about the reasons why the Giants were going to stand behind them. Again, a team that is still within it to at least get postseason bound. But talk about last night, it's something
the deal last night was funny. The Reds acquired Trevor Bauer from Cleveland.
That was the biggest surprise.
And the Indians acquired Yasiel Puig.
Good, great. Deal with that head case.
Franmil Reyes, and the Reds acquired prospect Taylor Trammell.
And Puig, who was traded during the game, it was before the brawl even happened. And again, if you folks have not seen it, I did post it on the Facebook page on Wyoming Sports Talk today. We would like you to like and follow that page if you have not done it already. But again, as it is a social media viral video at this point in time. But again, Pirates and Reds last night, things got a little chippy. Again, few ball, and this is something that is stemmed from April 7th, I do believe was the exact date between these two teams, where they've had back and forth already, but it kind of culminated with a few pitches behind a few batters' heads, a few plunking here and there, a few ejections. We saw managers get at it, but again, an all-out brawl happening there at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati between the Pirates and the Reds, which did showcase off one Yasiel Puig, who is known to be a hothead. He was doing stuff like this in L.A., now doing it again in Cincinnati. Probably will do it in Cleveland.
But he also sent a note to the Cincinnati fans. He tweeted out a note saying how thankful he was that he had a chance to play and how wonderful the fans treated him.
What fans?
Well, the thing is, I
doubt there was 500 fans in attendance last night.
You can say what you want about Yasiel, and he is kind of a hothead, but also, too, you're starting to see a very minor maturation process through this young man's life. Let's go to the deals today.
It's minor.
Let's go to the deals today. The big blockbuster deal, and they only get better, and that's not good because we're A's fans. Even though the A's have been involved in trades, they haven't did anything this sensational. But if you got a lineup with Justin Verlander and you add Zach Greinke to your starting rotation, oh my goodness.
Well, the Astros have already had they've had dominant pitching. This just makes it more scary.
Well, they instead of going with the lefty in Bumgarner, they went righty with Greinke.
Oh well, so again for Houston, that's a huge move. For Arizona, losing one Zach Greinke, who again Arizona, not a big again. Greinke was kind of. He was definitely, his stuff was not ace-like anymore. Again, he was still that number one guy for the Diamondbacks, but you've seen over the years Zach Greinke has kind of trended downwards. He is not the Greinke of old at Kansas City of what he was doing, but again, for Arizona, does this mean that they're cashing in the season saying, hey, we're not postseason bound? I'm not going to say that.
I don't know. They get 4 prospects. Basically what they're saying is we're not going to take his salary anymore. Let the Astros eat his salary.
Which is fine. And again, Houston, this is just a hired gun, clearly. And again, it just bolsters that starting rotation where Houston is, again, that much more scarier with Zach Greinke. Again, still has talent, still has tools. He's going to add a lot to that, at least starting rotation, but we'll see what happens.
And going back to the Trevor Bauer deal, I don't think that ends right there. I don't think he's going to stay a Red. Like Chris mentioned yesterday, there's two different trades that you can do. Don't think Bauer's going to stay with the Reds.
Well, we'll see. Reds were also too busy as well.
Yeah,
today.
with the Giants.
Well, with the Giants, with the A's as well, too, as you mentioned with the A's.
Talk about fire selling.
Yeah, the Reds, well, again, the Reds have pretty much cashed in as they have for a few years at this point in time. But
Which
the Reds,
way are you going, Oakland?
I'll go with Oakland, where you're talking about or at least the Astros picking up at least a right-hander. So did the Oakland A's right-hander Tanner Roark. They gave away, Oakland did, to the Cincinnati Reds, center fielder Jameson Hanna. So A's, realizing that Houston was about to pick up one Zach Greinke and make their moves, A's, who are still within getting the division, if not solidifying a wild card spot.
Tanner Roark is your wild card help.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. And again, Tanner Roark saw the writing on the wall once they picked up Trevor Bauer last night.
Yeah.
So, the A's will hire this gun out to get him into the wild card. I think the A's now are gunning for the wild card. If they get the division, that's just bonus. But the Astros, they've got their act together there in Houston. I think they're going to take the flag in the West.
Yeah.
So the Reds again, wheeling and dealing. So they've dealt with Cleveland, they've dealt with Oakland, then they deal with San Francisco. Now, like the deal or not, the Giants acquire Scooter Gennett from the Reds. Now, the Giants get me personally, I think they get a modest improvement to their offense as they try to make a wild card.
It does have interchangeability now with Joe Panik, who has been on the fridge at second base, now with Scooter Gennett. Again, possibility to make interchangeable moves with him, maybe at that second base, give Panik a rest, or say, hey, it's not working, Panik. We're going to try this outfit now. I think that was the move. Yeah, it certainly does. And again, for the Giants, what they're giving away is just cash considerations for that move. So not a bad move by the Giants. Again, they have money to spend, and that's all they did right there. Keeping on the theme with the San Francisco Giants, how about making moves with the Minnesota Twins? Twins acquire right-handed pitcher Sam Dyson. Big surprise there. Big surprise that the Giants were going to move on with Sam Dyson, who has kind of revitalized his career. We saw where it was before he joined the Giants, being a part of the Texas Rangers, where his career was basically dying. Got revitalized being a part of the San Francisco team, but here we are, trade deadline. He's moving on. That was a big surprise of getting rid of that reliever out of that bullpen. But in exchange from the Twins, Giants do acquire Prelander Barroa and also two right-handed pitcher Kawhi Tang as well too for the Minnesota Twins. So kind of up-and-coming prospects in that organization.
They'll be going down to Sacramento.
Same as well for the San Francisco Giants. A guy who's played already in the NL East before with the Washington Nationals. Well, now he's going to play for the Atlanta Braves. That'd be one, Mark Melanson, who got traded to the...
And that's a three-way deal. Isn't Detroit involved in this deal too?
From what I see, it was just San Francisco and Atlanta, at least, just head on right there. So either way, though, Atlanta does pick up right-handed pitcher Mark Melanson to bolster their bullpen and see what they will with him. Giants, in exchange from Atlanta, will receive two right-handed pitchers as well, two bullpen pieces, Dan Winkler and also Tristan Beck from the Atlanta Braves. And on top of that as well, again, Giants did also to inquire, or at least earlier today, they were also busy with the Milwaukee Brewers, where Drew Pomerantz, where we knew he was on the move.
Right.
He's going up to Milwaukee along also too with right-handed pitcher Ray Black. Both of those entities going to the Brewers. Giants in exchange will get infielder Mauricio Dubon, who is a prospect as well too through the Brewers system. I think this year, 2019, he's only played 2 games with the pro ball club. So. A developmental player that the Giants got in exchange.
All right, and the Braves also improved their relief corps. They got in before the trade deadline. They acquired all-star closer Shane Green from Detroit. That's why I thought it was a three-way deal here, because I was looking at what the Braves were doing. Another deal that we want to talk talk about Cubs landing Nicholas Castellanos in the deal with the Tigers. So the Tigers also doing the fire sailing. The 27-year-old could be slotted in multiple spots in the diamond, should provide a big boost offensively to a Chicago team that entered today's action, a game behind first place St. Louis in the NL Central.
And I do want to mention as well, or at least keep on the theme with the trades, Arizona losing one Zach Greinke. Well, with the loss, instead they picked up, again, I'm not going to put it on the same parallel or compare the two guys, but Arizona did pick up Mike Leake, right-handed pitcher. They got him from Seattle, where the Mariners, again, have already fire swelled. They've already said, hey, we're done this season. We're going to retool. Seattle does at least acquire from the Arizona Diamondbacks infielder Jose Calabarero. So, again, where Arizona loses one starter, one big ace, Zach Greinke, pick up Mike Leake, who is in the past, he's not on the same level as Zach Greinke.
His last two outings have been pretty decent. He
Yeah.
took a perfect game into the ninth inning, and then I think he gave up 3 runs in his last outing. So he's been pitching well on a very mediocre Seattle team. Philadelphia added a veteran bat. They picked up outfielder Corey Dickerson. As a matter of fact, they kept it right there in the Keystone State as they picked him up from Pittsburgh. Dickerson hitting 304 home runs and 25 RBIs this season. He hit a career-high 27 dingers for the Rays back in 2017. Dodgers add to the offensive depth. They acquired infielder Jed Gyorko. In a trade with the Cardinals, the 30-year-old has power, can play multiple positions, and provide insurance given the injuries to Chris Taylor, Enrique Hernandez, and David Freese.
And keeping in the NL West with the San Diego Padres, they acquire Carl Edwards Jr. from the Chicago Cubs. Cubs get left-hander pitcher Brad Wick. So Padres also, too, making moves on the trade deadline. Now, we've mentioned Dodgers, Arizona, Giants, and Padres out of the NL West. Where are the Colorado Rockies? Well, as we kind of thought they were going to, or at least I thought they were going to be more sellers on this day, the Rockies were quiet. They stood pat. Yeah, so very surprising by the Colorado Rockies where they did not move. So the bullpen did not acquire any starting pitching or at least try to swap out a few left-handers, right-handers in the relief.
And let's leave it right there at the Rockies. Again, if you are going to dangle, and again, we're using him, Charlie Blackmon. The Rockies are going to want a lot for him, just by the amount of money he's making. Yeah, you'll eat up the rest of his salary, but the point is, you're not going. And that's you're not going to trade it straight up.
That's just if he was even on the trade block. Again, a lot of that was rumors. It was not ever established that he was on the trading block. But again, the rumors were surrounding that was going to be the at least piece to move out of Colorado. But yes, he would garner a lot. Teams, I think, out there probably would have given up a lot to bring in one Charlie Blackmon. We know what he can do to an offensive alignment. Also, too, for at least defensive side as well, phenomenal defender. Again, this is a guy who's a multi-time all-star for the Colorado Rockies. I wouldn't doubt that there were teams out there that probably did entertain a Charlie Blackmon or try to acquire him and were willing to give up big, if not a lot of pieces to bring him to be a part of that ball club wherever he were to land at a point in time.
All the Rockies did prior to the deadline is on the 28th, they released Mark Reynolds.
Yeah.
And they also released right-handed pitcher Segwan Oh. That was it. That's all the Rockies did.
It tells me that the Rockies are happy with what they got, and they realize that they're not going to the postseason. I mean, if I read the writing on the wall, Rockies basically said, hey, we're happy with what we got. Maybe we'll try 2020. Because the Rockies, again, they are not making it the postseason at this point in time. It's just not going to happen. They've dug too deep of a hole at this point in time.
Spent a pile of money.
And it's all, right now, it seems like it's been a complete waste.
No. Not a Nolan Arenado. I think getting him inked was a good deal. I think you spent way too much money on your bullpen.
That's where I'm saying it was a waste of money. And that was the surprising thing of, why were there no bullpen moves? Why did we not get rid of a Davis? Why did we not get rid of some of these guys who have not gotten it done that you're paying big money, who have had their issues, whether it is on the road or there at Coors Field? Why the Rockies did not move and just become sellers, or at least try to get these guys on out of there? Is it something that, yes, the salaries were way too much, teams were not interested in it? Again, was it worth the value to get in or get out these pieces? Again, those are questions that, we'd have to be a fly on the wall in those war rooms.
And again, too, Chris mentioned yesterday, Wade Davis has not been the same.
No.
Today, you ready for what he did today? Pitched a third of an inning. Top of the ninth inning. Gave up 5 runs, all earned on 4 hits. Rockies lose 5-1. Thanks to Wade Davis, who picks up his 5th. He's 1-5. Again, your closer, your closer is 1-5, Nick, with an ERA. You ready for this one? A ballooned ERA. Your closer, 6.82 earned run average. You've got to be kidding me.
That's why, I'm surprised that he was not on the move. Someone did not, it wasn't a package deal to say, hey, take him off.
Who wants him?
Someone out there would have wanted him.
What is he making, $16-17 million? Yeah. Again, you look at
that big money that they paid out to him was
Shaw,
is what's going to hurt
along
him.
with Davis. You have also included there Murphy that they picked up this year. You've got right now Desmond that's making $10 million. Blackman's in the teens, and then you also got Nolan Arenado who's making $30+ million. Well, this season he's not making 30, but I'm just saying the Rockies have, and we said it at the beginning of the year. We said open the damn checkbook and spend. They did. Did they spend their money wisely?
No. Well, yes and no. In some pieces.
Again, Shaw was there last year.
I'd say overall no, though, because as much as, again, Arenado, you can't blame what's going on this season on him. You can't blame what's going on Blackman. But it is something in the generalized, encompassing of a team effort there in Colorado with the Rockies. I would say is the monies that they put out there, doled out there to, everyone. Is it worth it, or is it paying off dividends? It hasn't, clearly in 2019. And you could say even going back to at least a couple seasons, or at least now 3 seasons, where, yes, back-to-back years, make it to the postseason, but it didn't get you a whole lot farther than the wild card spot at a point in time. Again, you had a pathetic effort in the divisional series, and that's about it. But encompassing, again, for focusing on 2019, of the monies that Rockies did doll out to all players who got new contracts and new monies, was it worth it? No, it really hasn't. Because, again, you are sub 500. This is a team that is bound to not make the playoffs. This is a team that is bound and determined right now to finish dead last in the NL West. Okay. We're talking here, with today's loss against the LA Dodgers, now 25 games here in the month of July, they're 5-20. 5-20 in an entire month.
Well, they're awful. So here's their total payroll.
Post All-Star break as well, too. Their only winning series was before the All-Star break. That was Cincinnati at home there at Coors Field. Not once in this entire month, or at least so far post All-Star break, they've not had a single winning series.
Well, and again for the Monforts, they ponied up to the bar this year. They're spending $148 million in salaries. Here again, and we've done this before, so I don't want to just repeat. But Nolan's salary this year is $26 million. Blackman's salary
in the long run, he's worth it. He's the face of your franchise. But again, encompassing of everything, it is a team effort. It has been a failure this year.
But he's also 17% of your payroll.
Yeah. Is he worth it? Is he worth it? Yes.
Blackman, $21 million.
I think, yes. Again, multi-time All-Star, a guy who was in the MVP talks at a point in time a couple of seasons ago. Is he worth that money?
All right.
Yes.
Now, again, where I was on Melanson's case, I'm definitely going to be on this guy's case. He's 12% of your salaries. $18 million to Wade Davis.
And that's just stupid money.
And now Ian Desmond, who, as of late, has caught fire, and he started off the season miserably where I had him being,
it's
shuffled
a
off
slow
the Buffalo.
climb from him. But
$15 million. They got Murphy this year
could
for
he
$10
be,
million.
Could Desmond, we've seen stints of what he can do for the Rockies. In the long run, could Desmond, is he going to be worth that money? I would say yes. He's on the track to showcase that, yes, he could be a good top-level talent, be a nice contributing factor to Blackman, to Arenado. But as of right now, I say it's tough to give him that money, but maybe down the line, maybe in 2020, yeah. it might be worth it for the Rockies of what they invested in Ian Desmond at this point in time.
Well, and you look at some of the other monies. To me, McGee making $8.5 million, Shaw making $8.5 million.
It was
these are wasted salaries as far as
it was the most expensive bullpen for a reason, and that's what the Rockies got. And guess what? It has been a miserable failure. It has been the biggest Achilles heel for the Colorado Rockies at this point in time. The monies that they doled out to those three right there have extremely blown up in their faces.
Here's another one, and they released him. Okay, these are leftover salaries from players who have been traded or released or buyouts for declined options.
Yeah.
Mike Dunn, the lefty, he was making $7 million, and they gave him the heave-ho.
Yep.
As I just mentioned, that in the transactions, $2.5 million.
And O was a part of that revitalization with pitching of, hey, we got this big name, he should help, and yeah.
And then you feel bad for a guy like Mark Reynolds, who was only making $618,000, but at least he was trying to contribute to the ball club.
Hell, Mark Reynolds at a point in time this season, and we saw him at least pitch, he was probably your best reliever on that squad.
Yeah, so, and again, you look at Chris Russin, who has got to play this season. He's making almost $1.7 million, and he's in the minors.
But anyways, again, the monies that Rockies have doled out encompassing in total hasn't been worth it so far for this organization. In the long run, I say no. And clearly in 2019, it has not been worth it, especially that bullpen, that pitching staff. It is not worth it at all. And basically the Rockies, with the trade deadline officially over at this point in time, Rockies standing pat, saying, hey, we're just going to sit here and just kind of cruise or figure out what 2019 is going to happen for us. It is something where, hey, for the Rockies, I don't blame them. I'm surprised that they didn't sell any pieces, but it's going to be interesting to see what this affects in 2020.
And it's interesting, too, as they're dead last in the West. They do have the 12th highest payroll in Major League Baseball right now. Boston leads with the Yankees, believe it or not, second. Boston has almost $227 million in payroll.
Surprising also, too, Boston quite as well.
Yeah. Yankees, $219 million. The Cubs around $215.5 million. Dodgers at $200 million.
Yeah, they got money.
The Astros probably just increased their payroll by getting Greinke. They were at 171. The Giants are number 6 at about $170 million.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see who your teams are at the bottom. And I'm just wondering if they're in playoff contention.
Rays.
Tampa Bay Rays. They are last. Yep. 62 and then almost $63 million.
And again, the Rays right now, where they're ahead, they're still in it, at least in the AL East, still above at this point in time, I do believe, above the Boston Red Sox, still competing for that wild card, or if not, have that kind of solidified. Tampa Bay, they're kind of that new Oakland A's team where they're doing it for cheap money, but again, for cheap money, it's getting them big-time wins. Again, a record that is doing phenomenal here in 2019.
But look at the teams that are cheap. Baltimore, Chris Davis packs on most of that salary.
Well, again, Baltimore also too unloaded a lot of that salary.
They're $73 million. Marlins, $74 million.
Pirates, again, Marlins unloaded a lot of that. Again, teams at this bottom outside of Tampa Bay, they did it for a reason of why they're down.
Pirates at $75.5 million. The White Sox at $91 million. So that's 26, 27, 28, and 29. Mm-hmm. The A's that are vying for a wild card, similar to the Tampa Bay Rays, they have the 25th lowest payroll. They're under $100 million. They're at $93 million now. So I'm just looking at a contender. The Twins, their payroll is like $123 million. How about the Brewers? I mean, last year, they're, a game away from getting into the World Series?
Yeah.
The Brewers at about $128 million. They've got, Yelich on that team. Don't tell me he doesn't bloat the payroll a little bit.
Yeah, he will. There's no doubt about it. But, again, does it surprise me that you do have – well, Tampa Bay is the biggest surprising team in MLB of what they did. I did not anticipate that they'd be doing this well. I thought it was a fluke of what they were doing early on in the season. But at this point in time for the Rays, they are the biggest surprise in MLB. Doesn't matter what league, they're doing something spectacular. And I don't even read into the salaries because, again, Rays are doing it. A's have done it. Yeah, they've done it many a time, so it is not surprising. Well, Rockies back in the day, they've done it before where they've had kind of a low-end salary that they've snuck into the playoffs at a point in time. So Again, I don't read into the whole much of the salary.
You got like Machado with the Padres. Padres' payroll is $100 million. Tell me he doesn't bloat the Padres' payroll.
He's probably a third of it.
Yeah, and then you look over at Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati went really, with the trade and signing some free agents and what have you. Their payroll prior to getting rid of everybody was $124 million. They were the 17th highest payroll in the majors, and they're nowhere close to being.
They did a lot of offseason moves, and again, Yasiel Puig doesn't help that out. At least the money's there, and again, we'll figure out what happens post now. Him moving up to Cleveland, and if he does stay as a Cleveland Indian, but they did pick up big names that did inflate those numbers compared to last season, where the Reds were again god awful and basically had no one a part of that team. So it is what it is.
All right, we do need to take a timeout. Our final timeout, and we'll be back to wrap up Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words.
To celebrate Taco John's 50th anniversary, our famous Sierra Chicken Sandwich is back. With grilled chicken and original Sierra sauce wrapped in a warm flatbread, the Sierra Chicken Sandwich is better than ever. Plus, we're giving you a chance to win $50,000, free food, and other great prizes with any medium or large drink purchase. 1 in 3 cups is a winner. Enter the code on the cup to see if you've won $50,000, free food, or other great prizes. The more you play, the more you win. Ole the day at Taco John's.
Introducing Digital Wallet, a new way to pay with Platte Valley Bank. Add your Platte Valley Bank debit card to Google Pay, Samsung Pay, or Apple Pay, and have the ability to make purchases with just your phone. It's secure, simple, and accepted by millions of merchants worldwide. Try it today or check out pbbank.com for more information.
We'll work hard for your business, and we'll work just as hard to keep it. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and you need to see the new 2019 Kia Sportage today. The 2019 Kia Sportage offers numerous options and advanced driving features that help you know who is around you and how best to stay in control. Kia Sportage offers many standard features for the money. Some of the competition does not. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
Cheyenne Urological has been the cornerstone of urinary care to Cheyenne and its surrounding communities for over 20 years, with doctors Bryant, Everett, Gayeski, and their highly trained staff providing top-quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence. Cheyenne Urological is now offering cutting-edge robotic surgery. So call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 for compassionate, expert urinary care. That's 635-4131.
Under the definition of fun in the dictionary, they need to include 2 more words. Wyoming Downs. It's the perfect way to have fun with new and even more exciting simulcasting games on display, including Classic Heat, Great American Racing, Samurai Legacy, plus the Great Jackpot. That's just a sampling of fun that's happening today at Wyoming Downs. Make sure to get your player's card to enjoy triple points on Sundays, double points on Mondays. There's Mystery Moolah every Friday and Saturday, plus other special promotions going on at Wyoming Downs, with 2 fun locations in the Cheyenne Plaza at 3617 East Lincoln Way and at the Outlaw Saloon at 312 South Greeley Highway. Remember, for more information, go to wydowns.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly cloudy with a possible thunderstorm this afternoon with highs around 88. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 58. On Thursday, it'll be cloudy with thunderstorms likely with highs around 78. And on Thursday night, it'll be cloudy once again with thunderstorms likely in the evening with lows around 55.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, a couple more things from my side of the table here. First and foremost, Tom Brady, New England Patriots quarterback. He, if you haven't noticed, he's come to training camp and he's a little more bulked up this year. And he bulked up. Basically, he said, "I got to absorb these hits." He's 6'4", 225.
He's what, over 40 at this
He's
point?
about, what, 40,
41?
40, yeah, I think he's going to be 42 this year. The point with Tom Brady, though, I mean, the guy bulked up. And he did it naturally. He doesn't need to pee in a cup. You know what I mean? I mean, you talk about a guy that is still stone cold serious.
If he got busted for
about his job.
If he got busted for PEDs, I would not be surprised.
Oh, come on. This guy, I'm not saying he's pure as the new driven snow, but let's be real. Brady does things that a lot of us don't.
Yeah.
And he's got the resources to do it.
I wouldn't doubt that there's a lot of people speculating again with his bulk up of, put him on that same vein of saying, hey, he's been doing PEDs. Hey, NFL, you need to, get out there and test him at this point in time, because it is that common theme with the Patriots of, hey, we got a dogpile on them. Hey, they're winning all the time. Something sneaky is going on, whether it's Deflategate, Brady getting inflated at this point in time, whatever it is with the New England Patriots, it is something that everyone's going to find that excuse or for some reason of, hey, the Patriots are cheating this way, and I wouldn't doubt that might be the big storyline for the Patriots this year of Tom Brady. Why is he so big?
And the reason why I brought this up, Brady's entering the final year of his contract. Okay? Right. So he's also trying to make a statement. And he will be 42 on Saturday, by the way.
Yeah.
So what he's trying to do is send a message to the Patriots, A, that he wants to be a Patriot forever.
That he's still healthy.
And that he's still healthy. He can absorb this. I can play all 16 NFL games. And if you want me back next year, let's do year-to-year contracts.
Well, we'll see if he absorbs those hits, because this is around the same time frame with one Peyton Manning where, when he was taking those hits, hey, it really didn't at least fare well.
The only serious injury that Tom Brady has had was the knee.
Yeah.
You're talking a neck injury to
freak things can happen in NFL.
I know, but the neck injury almost put Manning out of business.
Yeah.
So, I always tip my cap to Peyton Manning for coming back. Sad note out of the National Football League, you obviously never had a chance to see him play. He was an undersized overachiever, part of the Miami Dolphins' 1972 perfect team, and we're talking about middle linebacker Nick Bonacani, the Notre Dame product. He died today at the age of 78. There's nothing being listed for the cause of death. Bonacani was taken in the 13th round by the Boston Patriots of the old upstart AFL, played for the Patriots from 62 to 68. He made the AFL All-Star game 6 times, had 24 career interceptions for the Pats, including 3 in a single game in 1968. Oh, by the way, how big was Nick Bonacani? Well, he was all but 5'11", 220 pounds.
Yeah, it's not terribly short.
No, but he was small.
It's not like Muggsy Bogues. Short.
He was small for an NFL linebacker. Think about, he's playing in the days of Dick Butkus.
Yeah, I get
Mike
that.
Singletary, Lawrence Taylor. Well,
especially we're back in the day situations of, football was a bit more, at least fast-paced, or at least a little bit freer on the penalty side of things, where things can, happen that will garner 15 yards or whatever flag being thrown at this point in time here in this day and age. So I get it, but again, 5'11", is he super underdog-ish, or again, anything that was behind, that would hurt his career? Clearly it didn't, but again, I don't buy into.
Well, and this is interesting, too, with the death of Nick Bonacani. You don't remember this, but back in November 2017, he said that he would donate his brain upon his death for CTE research. So obviously he will be a part of that. He revealed in May of that year that he was suffering from memory loss and could not use his left hand.
Again, a lot of those former athletes, a lot of former, again, on the defensive side, those linebackers, those linemen, again, had been suffering. And as I alluded to and talked about, again, back in the day, you're free to do a lot more things than you are here in 2019 NFL. Right. And maybe it is for the better, for the good, that maybe penalties do fly a bit more frequently to avoid future problems for these athletes post their careers.
Right. All right. Obviously, I took too long here. Did you have anything you wanted to add before we wrap things up?
No.
All right. We want to remind you Sherlock Holmes ×2, 8 until 9 tonight.